Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back once again to the Hot Stocks Outlook for September 1st, 2017. Thank you all for joining me. Hope you're having a great week out there in the markets. Going to be looking at a lot of stocks today. We've got some healthcare, transportation, basic materials, a couple of tech stocks here to round things out. But let's go ahead and dig into this, really show you how the entirety of these really predictive indicators work together to help you really anticipate what to expect in these markets, make much better trades, effectively just be a much more efficient trader, and you'll see how this works here. So starting here in Amicus, we've got daily bars and candles. So all end of day data, these new candles are generated. And against the price data, you'll see that there's a couple of values there. And what we have here is really two values, one being a predicted moving average, which I'll go ahead and bring my cursor. We can see these values. So that blue line being a predicted moving average generated via the technology and artificial intelligence found within the software. And we compare it to a regular lagging simple moving average. So essentially we have a prediction of where the overall trend is headed next. If those overall average values move above, well, the trend is up, and we're able to recognize these things via a scanning feature that's able to present all these fresh crossovers so you really know, hey, where are the reversals happening in the market? Where are those opportunities? Secondly, if we look at the very bottom of the chart here, we have the VantagePoint predicted neural index, which is a extremely accurate 2-day indicator. So very short term, just lets you know, okay, well, over the next couple of candles, should I expect some strength or weakness in the market? We absolutely want to pair that with, what is the overall trend, and then we can again make better trading decisions. Last but not least, when we bring all this in to really get the entirety of the forecast, we've got trend direction, short-term strength or weakness, but every day you're also given a predicted trading range. So really a predicted high and low for the next subsequent trading day. So you really know, okay, well, if I want to get involved in an uptrend, what prices should I be expecting for my short-term targets and also my entries for getting into the market? So let's go ahead and take a look and see how all of this works together. Well, we're able to recognize that, okay, crossover to the upside, matching neural index up at a 1. And a really nice feature here is we can actually come in and bring up the prediction for the predicted high and low against all these actual candles. And as we work through more of these markets, you'll see this approach really doesn't matter what your trading style is, whether you're shorter term, longer term, you got to be able to manage positions effectively. And that's really what it's all about. So if we bring in those predicted highs and lows and you understand you want to be a buyer in this market, well, look how effective these levels are. You get this dip down here in the market, almost a perfect entry on a day trade up to the predicted high, or just a swing trade where you want to go ahead and hold on to that position really until that blue line crosses again below that black line, saying the market has reversed its trend, now trending down. But you see about a 15% move to the upside so far in the overall trend, but multiple intraday levels to buy from with these extremely accurate predicted ranges where you understand, hey, expect the market to pull towards that predicted low. That's where you want to be a buyer. And within that uptrend, obviously target those higher levels, those predicted levels you're getting from the software and any higher profit targets that you want to shoot for. But obviously any sort of day trade, you're going to do very well buying a market that's going to move up 15% over the next 7 trading days, makes it a very manageable opportunity where you can make some money. Let's go ahead and move on to Southwest Airlines. And, here's a good example of how, markets, sometimes they trend lower for quite a long period of time. So we were able to recognize really over a month ago, back in July, that this crossover is to the downside. The trend is now moving lower. You see the neural index of that short-term forecast constantly forecasting weakness over the duration of what's now been over a month and a half. And we've gotten a really, really aggressive move lower. I mean, certainly don't want to be trying to buy a market that we see moving down about 17% over 35 trading days. But take a look at this, where if you understand the market's in a downtrend, with those shorter term tools, you want to come in with the neural index and be short the market. And then we come in with the predicted highs and lows to determine, hey, where do we want to be even, trying to take positions in this market? And you really see how this works over a very long period of time. We're not talking about just a couple of weeks here. These predicted high and low levels constantly giving you this guidance, looking at those intermarket relationships, updating themselves, and forecasting where these levels should be expected so that you as a trader are really prepared to exploit this weakness that you're seeing with the overall downtrend in the market. So you see here, multiple entries here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 entries that would now be in profit, trading in line with that trend that you've identified via VantagePoint as well. So really nice move there in Southwest, moving from 62, whether you buy some put options that, down at 62 and trade it that way, or just short the shares and manage your position off of the high and low levels. However you want to approach it, just knowing that you've got this accurate tool to really keep guiding you and updating as the trade moves forward, because the reality is the trade just isn't the same back in middle of July as it's going to be in August and into September, and you're going to want to manage that effectively and efficiently. Let's go ahead and move forward now to Century Aluminum, which was a market we covered last week. So certainly go back and look at the playlists that are available. View some previous videos, understand this approach and really the logic here. But here was our crossover saying, okay, go ahead, start buying into the market for Century Aluminum. But what I want to point out here is we've, obviously gotten a nice move higher. I think we're even, pushing past the predicted highs today here. So over 30% move to the upside. But just over the past week, if you utilize these tools, utilize these predicted high and low levels, we can see how this would have worked, seeing that, you're in an extremely strong uptrend. Your neural index is holding up at a 1, saying, keep buying the market. So when we bring in those predicted high and low levels, you see how this works, where, if you're in this uptrend and want to keep adding, you're adding down at these predicted low levels and making money on now what's been, 3 trading days, 3 short-term day trades just in the past week of trading since the last video was made. So, that's why it's so important to understand that, you really need a tool that's going to get you into those markets, recognize the trend change when it does occur back here, down at $15 a share, but also have those shorter term analytics to help you manage those positions effectively, so you can do what you really need to do as a trader, which is add to those winners and push those winners, and understand when the trend is, if it reverses, when to get out and cut those losses short, and make sure you're riding these longer term trends that we've seen in Century Aluminum, Southwest Airlines, which we just covered, and multiple others all over the market, seeing some very, very big 20-30% moves and a lot of volatility. Here in Lattice Semiconductor, so here we're on to some tech stocks here. Crossover to the downside, neural index down at a 0. And again, bring up those predicted highs and lows to get a feel for this, of where would we be shorting this market, taking positions. Well, again, waiting for these predicted high levels to get hit. So really prepared before the market even trades and opens. And as this market trades lower in line with the trend, you just keep executing your strategy in line with, again, if that's short term, long term. If you're looking for reversals to trade options, you'd be buying those put options up here at 680. Whatever that strategy is, make sure that you're utilizing the overall forecast here, understanding trend, short term, that 2-day strength or weakness, and then look for those levels to go really and set those positions and get involved in the market. Last opportunity here we have in Red Hat, another tech stock, but here to the upside. And again, very, very simple. You don't want to overcomplicate this. The software is working the exact same way, whether it's, Amicus Therapeutics or a technology stock or the oil market or what have you. Here in Red Hat, the crossover to the upside, neural index up at a 1. And of course, we want to bring in our predicted levels to determine, okay, well, how would we actually go ahead and manage this position? And you see multiple levels really alerted to that. Here's where you want to come in. Don't quite hit that one there. Really nice fill where would have been filled at the open all the way down here at 104.50, and the market moves higher, in line with the uptrend that you've recognized all the way back here in mid-August, that it was time to start buying Red Hat, look for those opportune levels to take a position. So really nice opportunities, and again, volatility, which is really what we need as traders all throughout the market to really make money. We need those really aggressive moves, and you can make a lot of money off of, really a small position size where you get in at the right time, manage it effectively, and make the most of it. So as always, I hope this has been helpful. Again, make sure that you review those previous videos, watch the playlists that are available, get a feel for this approach. Leave any questions or comments that you have in the comment section below, and that way you can make sure that anything you're unclear about, you absolutely understand. But as always, guys, best of luck to you out there in the financial markets. Have a great rest of the trading week. Thank you all for watching, and bye for now.